So good afternoon everyone. My name is Maisie Austin. I welcome you here this afternoon and those who are joining us by live streaming in order to pay our last respects and bid a sad but fond farewell to Heather Haslett, who sadly passed away on Saturday the 22nd of February, with family by her side. We are here also so that in our own way we can celebrate, honour and pay tribute to her life. And in doing so, we express our sincere love and admiration for her. And so this afternoon, we have put aside our usual daily activities for a while and gathered here to give expression to the thoughts and feelings that well up in us at this time of loss. And also because in one way or another, Heather's death affects us all, as could be seen from the many tributes describing her as an amazing, beautiful woman, always there for everyone. In all of the busy schedule of her life, her time for her family was of paramount importance, and her love and mateship helped all to grow. She left a legacy of care, kindness, commitment and involvement in the heart of her family and community. During the service, her family will share more memories of her with us. For now though, I ask you to join me in offering love, comfort and support to her sons Gary and Richard and their families, Jonathan, Maddie, Hayden, Alex, Grace, Ricky and Elisa, and to Heather's extended family and friends. And if I missed anyone else, I apologise, but our condolences to you all. So I now invite Heather's niece Jodie to come forward to deliver the eulogy.
My Auntie Heather was the best aunt anyone could ever hope for. A beautiful person, kind, funny, strong and brave, admired, respected and dearly loved. I don't think she realised how special and important she is in so many people's lives. Heather was the last child born to Frank and Doris Fountain, arriving on the 19th of June 1944 in Gawler, South Australia. She had two sisters, Janet and Brenda, and her brother Jarvis. During their childhood, their dad Frank worked as a mechanic, chasing work wherever it was offered. So the family were always on the move, sometimes not even staying in one place for a full year. While Heather was just a toddler, they moved from Gawler to the Lindop area, then to Springton in Eden Valley. Rabbits abounded amongst the hills and valleys in many places they called home, and rabbit trapping to sell skins helped bring in a little more money. Sometimes Heather would go out around the traps with her dad. Early in the day the traps were set, then later they broke back to check what was caught. For many years they also dined on rabbit. By the time she turned 5 and was about to start school, they were living in Aldgate in the Adelaide Hills. But within 2 years they were back near Gawler and had bought a house in the Haslett of Rosedale on the edge of the Barossa Valley. Here they happily settled for the next 5 years, while Frank worked on the truck used to build the South Power Reservoir. Heather went to the tiny Rosedale Primary School with big brother Jarvis and sister Brenda, whilst oldest sister Janet went to high school in Gawler. To earn extra money for the family, autumn weekends were often spent in the local vineyards with their parents picking grapes. Even 8-year-old Heather toiled out among the vines beneath the autumn sun, earning the equivalent of $2 a day. As the building of the South Power Reservoir needed neared completion, Frank looked around for his next place of employment. In 1955, he founded the PMG, Postmaster General's Department that later became Telecom, working as a linesman on the telegraph and telephone wires. But it meant a really major move for the Fountain family, all the way down to Yorktown on the foot of the York Peninsula, a distance of about 225 kilometres. Heather was 11 and once again had to change schools. Janet was 17 and working in Gawler, but she too moved to Yorktown and found a job in the local store. Every afternoon after school, Heather would call in to say hi to Janet at work, eager not just to see her big sister, but also for the sixpence Janet often gave her to buy herself a banana cool hot ice cream to enjoy on the rest of the walk home. Yorktown was the last big move the Fountain family made. Heather finished her primary and high school years there. During Heather's teenage years in Yorktown, John Haslett arrived on the peninsula, working for the PMG. Frank and Doris offered him bed and board at their home, and so Heather met John. After leaving school and eager to become a nurse, Heather moved back to Gawler on her own to start nurses training at the Gawler Hutchinson Hospital. She was 17. She boarded during those training years at the nearby Hutchinson Hospital Nurses' Home. She and John had kept in touch, and in 1964 they were married at the Glenelg Methodist Church in Adelaide. It wasn't long before baby number one, Gary, arrived, closely followed by Richard, Rick, to complete their little family of four. John had continued to work for the PMG, and in December 1965 he was transferred from Adelaide to Darwin. Heather joined him a couple of months later on the 14th of February 1966. She flew out of Adelaide with her 3-month-old and 14-month-old babies on the milk run flight, making multiple stops all along the way. It was currency day. The morning she left Adelaide, she was using pounds, shilling and pence. By the time she arrived in Darwin, that evening the switch had been made to dollars and cents. In 1972, Heather began working at the Nightcliff High School. Throughout her life, she was a caring and generous person, and if her family hurt, she hurt. Life was hard financially for her sister Brenda and family, struggling to make ends meet on the farm on Kangaroo Island. So Heather sent all of her first pay packet to Brenda to help them out. On Christmas Eve 1974, the Haslett's home was not completely devastated by Cyclone Tracy. They still had part of the roof left over the bathroom and toilet. They were able to keep some things dry by piling them into the bath, and they slept on the bathroom floor. Being one of the families that had some form of shelter meant that Heather and her 10 and 9-year-old boys weren't evacuated until the last flight out of Darwin. But John remained behind. When it was deemed safe enough, Heather and the boys returned, and together John and Heather rebuilt their home. However, some years later, Heather and John's marriage didn't last, and by 1982 they had divorced. The years that followed weren't always easy ones for Heather, but as the ever-resilient woman that she was, she bravely moved on, always putting others before herself. She was fun to be with, an understanding listener, and often had considered and thoughtful advice to share. She ensured her boys knew they were loved and always supported. From 1986, she was blessed with the arrival of her adored grandchildren. First Jonathan, followed by Madeline, Hayden, and Alexandra. Later, her arms and her heart were filled again with the arrival of Grace, Ricky John, and Lalisa. They are all her Darwins, and she is their Darwin now and Nana. I would like to leave you with these words. taken from a piece by Emily Jane. One day, you will walk this path without me, and when that day comes, remember this. Though people come and go, the presence of their love remains forever etched in the footprints they leave behind. The sound of their love will always echo in the wind. The warmth of their embrace will always be felt in the gentle rays of the sun warming your soul. The light they brought to your life will always shine in the brightest stars illuminating the night sky. So, no, you will never truly walk alone. For those who came before you walk forever by your side. They live in your heart forever.
Was beautiful, Jeremy. So we're going to have tributes now. Richard, then Gary, and then Grace.
Most people, it really is a celebration of someone's life. Someone took the time to someone fantastic. Both selfish by one another together. It's also another twist in this, as we expected. I think like people, it's a bit of a double header, so to speak, because my father was John Haslett. He was cremated 2 years ago, and we had service we met, and Mum and I went to it. We were discussing in the last month or two about Dad's ashes, Gary, brother, and she suggested that we got his ashes probably during the month today. So I think it's unfair that I say a small eulogy throughout the my father, and make it a double burial. And it's about my mother today, make no mistake. Everyone was really about her, everyone was touched by her. She's better, she's such a loving, caring person, always providing for herself, but most of all, the whole life to her children and grandchildren. It's a mistake, it's got my father right now. Jodie's did a wonderful job. She's actually pretty much a family historian. She's meticulous. But, so she's covered a few points if I have to. But so my father was born in Glenelg. It was Melbourne Cup Day in 1938, which I think was the 1st of November. And he was delivered by Dr. Steele. Same Dr. Steele delivered me, his son, Dr. Steele, delivered me in the same hospital, 1965. And Dad was coming up to go long for the war, and he was mates with Marshall Perry, and they used to swap cars, pardon me, and then Dad started off this hobby as aviation museum, and that's how aviation years ago came together. His hobby started. He worked for PMG, which later became Telecom. So taught his own resources, probably for GPS, things like that. Gary and I sometimes were offload lanes, run lanes, there's no roads for days, military graph records, compasses. And it's that put a pinpoint down to the mines. We find records, we have a little do afterwards. Anyways, this was part of their band. And then, around about 1990, Marshall Perry was the chief minister of the Northern Territory. And Dad was friends with all the other American World War II pilots. And we actually, they paid their own trips, but we went for the corridor strip, It's late 70s, early 80s. I lived in California, Palmers, pretty parked and served up and stuff, and they loved him. Their children, around 1990, the high brass in the American Air Force. He said, as I said, he asked them, they said, here's a better way to do it. What I reckon Dick Smith was telling that Dad passed. His comment was, I still can't believe he got the Yanks to give him the B-52 bomber. So what he did was, he put some friends with him, and they said, Charlie, we'll give you a B-52 bomber if you provide a hanging slap bunker of water. So he said to Marshall Ferry, Current Aviation Museum this day, that's it. That's how it came about. That's enough about that part of the father. And so it's a little bit of music for him, but it's really today mostly all about my mother, Heather, Mary Haslett. It's a wonderful person, always will be. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. And so please try to get together. One big happy family. Try to remember the good times. Oh, I think it's something humorous for my mother. It's really hard at the moment for me to get right. But one little thing. She looked so much like her mother, Doris Fountain. We've got two little Maltese dogs. It's nine. Charlie's got a Maltese recent years ago. Buddy still thinks he's my dog, because he's his brother. He's a little Maltese Shih Tzu. He's got about 6 nicknames, he knows all of them. But one in the bum gave him, and I call him the face following in front, is Doris. Because mums and mum used to always be in the way on one foot. And so therefore mum called Buddy Doris, because he was always what I call following in front, down the foot. So there's a little bit of humour from my mother Heather. She was, anyone who knows her, you know, things times have shown a lot more than that. So please join us all together as one big happy family. Love and memory, my mother and father. Thank you, Gary.
Don't forget me to look at my voices. My throat's a bit raspy. I've got a little prepared to hear, but first of all, a couple of off-the-cuff things. When Joanne talked about her auntie Heather, I immediately remembered being at Auntie Janet's, and Rick and I were swearing. And my mum grabbed us and took us into the laundry and got soap and washed our mouth out with soap. My cousins were absolutely horrified, and I'm pretty sure they didn't swear near her. So yeah, she could be a character, and I hope I learned a lesson then. Another one was we was just saying how wonderful Mum was, and about 24 years ago, Rick and I went to the United States, and we were with a friend, and he introduced a couple of women to us, younger than us, but that was 20 years ago anyway. And one of them said her name was Heather, and we said, oh, that's a wonderful name. My mother's name is Heather. And she was quite impressed. But I think it was because he came out with a natural, you can see he really liked the name, because it really was his mother's name. Anyway, to my prepared piece, you've already heard a lot about the life of Heather through eulogy and through Rick. I want to talk a bit about my father as well. So, as you know from what Rick said, his ashes were in the coffin there. John was 6 years older than the mother. At first, he treated her like an avoidance sister. I just imagine her trying to follow him around, go away. she told me once that she fell in love with Dad when she was 15. Mum's father, Frank Fountain, he actually ran the depot at Yorktown. And John bought it Fountains, and he shared a room with Charles, which is Mum's oldest brother. And as it was, Charles didn't like the name Charles. So John called him Fred, and eventually Charles was known by everyone as Fred. Until the day he died. At this time, Nigel Whitman, which is Joanne's father, was courting my mum's sister Brenda. And Nigel, Charles and John became lifelong friends. And I first saw us mention them about times when they were out doing things and socialising. But I'm pretty sure that Nigel's name just was making friends then because he wanted to be friends with Brenda. My mum told me once that she was naive about the facts of life. And someone had told her that she didn't get pregnant from the ring in the bath. So she used to scrub the bath very well after anyone that used the bath. So she was an innocent young lady. Around 1959, John transferred down still with the PNG. My dad transferred to Darwin, and he's still with the PNG, and he's very, very well liked by the ladies. My mum went to school and trained as a road nurse. John had a terrible brain injury that crippled him on the left side. And as we alluded to, he used to, I remember Marshall Perrin. He bought a Ford Roadster from Marshall Perrin. And when he was riding back to Adelaide in fashion, he hit his head. And he had a brain bleed. And after that injury, he couldn't put his coma. Then he couldn't talk or walk, do anything. He had to learn to do those things again. And when he was eventually functioning well enough, he went back to work on light duties. At this time, the relationship developed with Heather. And Heather was really sick. John needed a nurse. Sometimes I wonder if he hadn't had the accident, if he would have settled down and got married. I think that was a turning point in his life. In 1964 they were married. I was born. My brother was born in 1965. My dad convinced my mother to come to Darwin for 3 years. And yes, she made remains. And I didn't have a driver's license. And for the most part, she was at home looking after the children. This was the natural order of things in those days. I do remember going on the bus to town and having lunch in the Woolies cafeteria upstairs. And that was a big deal. John was a well-known popular speed car driver back at Haslett. And unlike my father, the woman next door, Mrs. Father, had been giving her driving lessons. Anyway, John went away to Adelaide for a PhD training. And while he was away, my mum brought to a test at the motor vehicle registry. When she got there, the examiner asked, "Are you John Haslett's wife?" And she said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, John and Lee come for a test and she'll try it. So, here you go. And she never had a driving test. But by the way, she was a very, very good driver. One of the best drivers I've ever seen. By the 1980s, I was thinking over a few things here on the cyclone, lots of stuff, but I really loved the track. By the 1980s, the marriage was in difficulty. And so, suffice to say, they were divorced. And they never remarried, instead of devoting to her sons. When John was living with his new partner, Heather was very jealous. This indicates to me that she still was something there. John once told me the new partner wanted him to marry her. He maintained he was already married and would be married more than once. And I think this is the crack that's ended up splitting up that relationship. Was the fact that he was having to live with this person, but anything more than the fact that I wasn't going to be entertained. 2 years ago, when my father was dying, and I was in the Children's Hospital. It was a very emotional time for both. John told her that she was the most beautiful woman in the world. They are both at peace now and resting together eternally. Thank you.
It's one little thing I just like to add, it's one little thing. There's one little thing. Gary made me remember. It's the comments about the father. I don't know what it was, 68, I'm Sydney. Dad had a XM Falcon, Grand U, West Bay. We drove down to Adelaide. And Dad's parents, Robert, an old space bomb, 2 squares of toilet paper and shit. And using all that work. And Grandma, old French lady, very sweet and well mannered. Well, Gary and I came running in the front door. Grandma, we came down in the fucking car. Sean, have you been swearing in front of the children? We couldn't say Falcon. Or Falcon.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today, and also those of you who are watching on live stream. Thank you for helping celebrate my grandmother's send-off. Nana was truly my best friend, and all of you may know that she had a huge hand in raising me. And she supported me in every endeavour I ventured. I wouldn't be the person I am today without her love and guidance. I've had many thoughts of this particular day, and honestly I expected to have a lot more words to say and memories to share. But unfortunately, grief has struck me in ways I never believed imaginable. But I will share a few of many things that I miss. Nana, I will miss the way you called me and your grandchildren darling. I will miss the way you remind me of my day-to-day responsibilities. I will miss watching you do your hair in the morning, especially when you use your heated rollers. I will miss your cooking and the way you always sat at the dining table. I will miss making you your morning coffee. Doesn't feel the same now that I bought the kettle up for myself. I will miss your words of comfort and reassurance whenever I am sad and anxious. I will miss telling you my thoughts, ambitions, and secrets I have shared only with you. I will miss your witty sense of humour and the way you lit up when you laughed. But what I will undoubtedly miss the most is your hugs. Nana gave the best hugs. It goes without saying that Nana was a beautiful, kind and caring person who constantly put others before herself. She touched the lives of many, and I am beyond lucky to have been loved by her. Nana, I loved you yesterday. I love you still. I always have, and I always will. Thank you.
So, say something for Lena?
That's okay.
Is there anyone else who might like to pay tribute to Heather? Come forward.
Heather was my dog grandma. The name Nana came about because we were supposed to call her Nana, but we had trouble with the name Nana, so we were calling her Nana. She didn't like that because it sounded too much like banana, so she became Nana. But she always called me darling, and so I, as children do, got it into my head that she called me darling, so I had to call her darling. And that was the rules forever, was that she was only ever allowed to call me darling, I had to call her darling. And I didn't got time at the shops for it. It makes the lady at the shops laugh because she heard me telling my grandma she had to call me darling. You have to call me darling. She always thought about everybody else. She gave what she had to care for those that she loved. She taught us so many things. She used to look after us whenever our parents were going to work, and she used to take us out every week. And she's just such a big part of our lives that we just can't laugh about it. I just wanted to hear her say, "Oh, my darling," again. I love her so much. I do love her, and I still love her. She was the most beautiful person, and she will be greatly missed.
Thank you for those tributes. So now let's take some time to reflect on our memories together as we watch our visual presentation of the life. Thank you. I'm going to continue the service with Psalm 23. If you'd like to join me, please welcome to start. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So on behalf of the family, I again thank you for your attendance here today and those who have shared the service with us online. Thank you to all of you who have travelled to be here today as well. It's very special, very important. So from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. today, you are invited to share memories, stories and refreshments with the family at the Cashmere Sports Club in Trowell Road. From here, we will move to the cemetery to Heather and John's final resting place. So I'll ask you please to all stand for the final farewell and make the way to the gravestone. I think it's this last one. Yeah. I'll just ask the pallbearers to come forward to accompany us to the service. It is now time to say farewell to Heather and John. Tenderly, lovingly and reverently, we commit their bodies to the earth. Let us be grateful for the life that has been lived and for all that their life has meant to all of you. Let us give thanks for their life. Let us remember with gratitude their deep love for their family and friends. And may any regrets we feel today be turned into gratitude for the time shared with them. And may the chill of darkness of death give way to the warmth and sunshine of their memory that will be cherished forever. I would now ask the pallbearers to come forward to lower the coffin.